Yo, what's good? It's your boy B-Dell. Today I'm going to give a definitive transmission talking about the Saturn moon matrix because I feel like the vast majority of people aren't really intuitive about the point of origin about the Saturn moon matrix. So in order to understand certain things, you can't really be a one-dimensional thinker, meaning that you have to understand the dynamics of the matrix. So you have to understand Vedic numerology. You have to understand Kemetic theology. You will also have to understand the universal laws and codes and the esoteric symbolism through astrological planetary alignments. Now, when you understand the Kemetic story, which is actually, predicated upon the Isis, Osiris, and Set story. Now, Isis and Osiris had a son named Horus, which is the sun in the solar system. Now, Osiris had a brother named Set. Set killed Osiris and chopped his body up into 14 pieces. So that coincides with the Fibonacci sequence of the 9 to 5, because 9 plus 5 equals 14. Now, when Set killed Osiris, he was bound to a gas planet, which is called Saturn. That's why Saturn has a ring around it. Now, at the top of Saturn, there's a hexahedron cube, which is predicated upon the sacred geometry of Metatron's cube. And Metatron's cube is what creates subatomic particles that are cube-shaped, and it creates a photon-like spectrum. So that photon-like spectrum gives the illusion of physical matter because it shoots ion frequencies to the moon. Now, the illusion of physical matter is what compromises your neurological chemistry, such as, it activates the optical lobe of the brain, and it shuts down your spiritual eye, which is your third eye, and it shuts down the solar eye, which is the fourth eye, because you have a fourth eye, but I'm going to do another video on that. So once you look at the grand scheme of the sacred geometry of Metatron's cube, that's why they call it the cube of Saturn, because when you go into Freemasonry, you have to have a belief system, and you have to subscribe to 3 types of monotheistic religions. So you got Islam, you got Catholicism, and you got Christianity. Now, when you open up a cube shape, it turns into a crucifix. Now you got the Kaaba in Mecca. And then when you look inside the Star of David, there's a hexahedron cube inside of the Star of David. Because when you know anything about, the sacred geometry of the Saturn moon matrix, everything is built around to keep you physically, mentally, and neurologically subjugated in a state of purgatory. Meaning that they want to box you in spiritually, because they don't want you thinking outside the box. Because if you think outside the box, you think outside westernized ideologies and philosophies, you will be able to deviate from this matrix. So the best way I can explain it to you is when you have water. When you confine water, to a certain object, it's going to get bacteria, it's going to get dirty, it's going to get decrepit, because it doesn't have the ability to replenish and revitalize itself, and by, flowing freely. So when water is able to flow freely, it's able to revitalize itself. So when you box yourself into a certain ideology and a certain concept that was created by man, you are basically putting your soul and your spirit in the form of subjugation. Because the Saturn moon matrix, the moon is actually, a supercomputer. The moon is governed by 2 space programs, which is governed by reptilians, Pleiadians, and the Ashtar Command. And these 2 secret syndicates is the Vector Vortex and the Green Beret. And they have a binary code system through the supercomputer on the biosphere of the moon. So bi means 2, because the biosphere of the moon means it's on the dark side of the moon. And they show you all this shit in the movies. Now, what they do is when people die, when people die, their souls and their spirits shoots up into the shoots into the ozone layer, because the ozone layer is what creates black holes. So when people die, their soul and their spirit gets projected up into, by way of magnetism, it gets projected up through the ozone layer, goes up into the supercomputer, which is another form of horizontal gene transfer, because what they want to do is usurp the consciousness of people and put it inside these computers, the binary code system, and then shoot the ion frequencies back onto the planet. So that is your technological way and evidence that they use reincarnation, basically. Because reincarnation is not a divine concept, because you are in a perpetual state of hell, because the third dimension is based on the photon light frequency that traps your body in a light prison, because this is a light prison. So because we are light bodies, our souls are light bodies. Now, I also want to get into the economical side of it. I ain't got my time card with me, because this, what I'm getting ready to tell you, it's basically what, came about how I wanted to make this video, because, I was on my break, the other day. And I don't know why this, I never caught on to this. It just came out of nowhere the other day. My time card has Chronos on it, because when you understand anything about, different forms of theology and historical context and everything, Chronos, Lucifer, Set, Jesus, Serapis, all these deities are basically all the same person, because they all worship the cube of Saturn. Now, Saturn and Satan are basically interchangeable. So when I looked at my time card, I was like, okay, this is my time card at work. I want to see who owns this company. So I typed in to see who owns the company or whatever. It's owned by, high-ranking Jesuit, elitist. And their and their establishment that creates these time cards is called the Matrix. So, that is basically forensic evidence, that propagates the fact that, the Matrix is a real system, because I told you, when I tell you about the Osiris and Set story, the Fibonacci sequence of the 9 to 5 comes from the number 14. So this is why the Saturn Moon Matrix, when you understand linguistics and etymology, you have to go to work on a Monday to get money in a monetary system to get resources so you can have monopoly. You know what I'm saying? So M-O-N and M-O-O-N, it is not by coincidence that they look the same. So this is why when you understand the Matrix, you know what I'm saying, everything is in a based in a capsule of time. Because when you do the etymological roots of the word sin, it means time. Sin means time. So you are trapped into an illusionary world that makes up the third dimension. And the third dimension is made up of people, places, and possessions. And people, places, and possessions is governed by the lunar cycle of the Saturn Moon Matrix, because this is why, the religions is governed by a lunar cycle. The women's menstrual cycle is governed by a lunar cycle. Our bodies is made up of 75% water. So therefore, these ion frequencies that that is based on the fake moon compromises our neurological chemistry, because, and it compromises us biologically too. So this is why the great majority of rapes and murders and everything happens on full moons, because I told you it's operated by a supercomputer, because the moon is not actually a celestial body. The moon is basically a supreme version of a direct energy weapon that the reptilians and the Pleiadians and Ashtar command are in our solar system. Because, like I told you, not God, but Lucifer, Jesus, Satan, Chronos, Saturn are all the same person. Because when you understand the Bible intuitively, they say that Satan is the prince of air. Satan is the prince of air because he separated the intergalactic waters from the third dimension, because the moon and the planet Earth used to be conjoined together. They used to be connected. So that's why the original moon is pulls off the gravitational tides of the oceans, because it's trying to find its way where it used to be at. So now, once, like I said, man, everything in the system is based on synchronization. Nothing is, you know, coincidental. Nothing is by accident. So, you know, I just want to put out that transmission, because a lot of people, when they think about the Matrix, you know what I'm saying, they thinking about something as far as the movie. They're not really intuitive with the information. So I just felt like I had to, you know, give a simplistic breakdown. I try to break it down, you know, the best way that I could. So if you have any questions, hit me up in the comments, share this video, and get this information out there, because like I said, man, this whole system is based on harvesting the souls and the spirits of the original people. But like I said, man, the solar holocaust is on its way. So that's why, you know, the planet is heating up. The plasma energy on the planet is heating up, and Saturn's rings is melting. So that coincides with the fact that the devil had a mandated cap of 6,000 years of dominion all over the planet. So, you know what I'm saying, the days of the beast is, you know, has exceeded. It's basically exceeded its limit. So, but yeah, just put this information out there. I don't know why they let me put the video. I can't really post like a regular Facebook status, but I can put out a video and post a picture or whatever. So get this video out there, share it, please. Get this transmission out. Thank you.